Hi, I'm Maryjo with Fourth Dimension Healing in Stillwater, Minnesota. I'm also the director of the Center for Crystal and Healing Studies, which is my online school where I offer a variety of blended coursework in Reiki, energy healing, and crystal healing. And I also have some free mini courses and some free ebooks that you can download if you visit my school. So you can take a look at the link below this video if you are interested in exploring my school more. Today I want to talk with you about Tibetan quartz. Tibetan quartz is also sometimes known as Tibetan black quartz because it has this, very often we're going to find a black mineral contained within the actual stone. And I wanted to show you an example of Tibetan quartz and compare it with regular clear quartz, also known as rock crystal. So here's a piece of Tibetan quartz that I work with here in my healing practice, and you can notice that this piece actually doesn't really have any parts of black that we can visibly see within it. It's still Tibetan quartz. Tibetan quartz is almost always going to be double terminated, which means it has points at both ends, so we have that energy flowing in both directions. Now here is an example of a piece of clear quartz, and yet this piece has almost like a smokiness. It almost has a little bit of like a smoky quartz in there, and so some of the darkness that you see, ever so slight, is a natural result of what happens to the quartz when it is exposed to natural radiation within the earth. The other thing you're going to notice is that this particular piece has two terminations as well. And I bring that up because sometimes it's a little difficult and we have to do a little bit of investigating to determine exactly what kind of quartz we're actually working with. So with Tibetan quartz, as I mentioned, it is often going to have some blackness. And here's an example of a piece that you can see. It has some more of these black occlusions. Again, double terminated. Like other quartzes, Tibetan quartz is going to have a hardness of about 7 on the Mohs hardness scale. Also, like other quartzes, Tibetan quartz resonates with storm element. And if you're not familiar with the system of elements that I work with, which are earth, fire, water, wind, and storm, you can learn more about them by taking a peek at some of my other videos that I have available on my YouTube channel. So as we're working with Tibetan quartz, we're going to find that it shows up in such unique ways. Here again, we've got double termination, yet this has got it's almost like it has a little pedestal that it's sitting on. Tibetan quartz comes from the Himalayan Mountains in Tibet, and it has this, it's very much of a spiritual quality to it in comparison to some of the other quartzes. At least that's my experience as I work with it. And if you have a piece of Tibetan quartz, you may notice that there are some differences as well for you. Just wanted to show you some more examples that I feel are pretty good representations of what I have available through my online shop. This is a really interesting piece in that, again, we have the double termination, and yet this one is almost like twinned. Can you see that? So we have two terminations at one end and one at the other. And then this one has almost like a little crater aspect that may be very difficult for you to see. If you've heard me talk about little holes and nicks within stones before, you will know that I really love those characteristics when we see them in stones, because there is an invitation for us to move a little bit more deeply into the work with the stone and explore some of those crevices within our own life. I actually have, I'm going to just reach over, this is a piece of chrysocolla, and again you can see there's this kind of cavernous shape here, structure. So that's what I'm referencing when I'm talking about stones that may have some of these little, it's not just a neck, it's like an actual little characteristic of the way the stone has been created that has some added mystery to it. Here is another example of a piece, and I want to I'm hopeful you can see this, that there even are a couple other little quartz growing out of the side. So there's this wide variety of the way that Tibetan quartz presents. And again, this one also has a little bit of a mysterious little notch in it. And here again, more twinning. So you can see that there's a difference very often between how Tibetan quartz presents itself and how a piece of rock crystal or clear quartz presents itself. So when working with a piece of Tibetan quartz, you can place it on or around your body. You can hold it during meditation. It does not need to be a large piece. It can be a very small piece. And when we work with any of the stones, what we're doing is we're connecting with the frequencies and properties of the minerals and the gemstone itself. And we're integrating those with our own energy field to shift and clear blocked energies, and to be able to help us reestablish a balance within our energy field, within our body, and within our life. Because, I want to pick this one up again, because storm element stones, particularly Tibetan quartz, work with all of the chakras and even those off-body transpersonal chakras. They are wonderful to work with when we are doing that kind of higher spiritual work, where we are learning to quiet our mind and allow ourselves to just drop into that natural state of being present to whatever is arising. So that's just a little bit about Tibetan quartz. I encourage you to take a look at my online shop. The link is below this video. You can learn more about Tibetan quartz. If you don't have currently a piece of Tibetan quartz in your crystal toolkit, I would really encourage you to explore doing so, because there is a place within our healing process where we are inviting down this higher guidance, especially from those upper chakras, so that those higher wisdoms are able to express themselves within our life, and we're able to grow and heal and continue to show up in a more authentic way in the world. So let me know if you have questions. Reach out either through chatting through my website, sending me an email. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you have. For now, I simply wish you many blessings. Be well.